Hi folks, welcome back to Mab's Musical Stuff. I'm Marc-Alan Barnett, and this is kind of part 3 of my little conversation here about challenges we face. Everything that's going on here is a dialogue that I'm having with you from the perspective of somebody that sees and hears this a lot and sees new people coming in to Nashville, seeing them on the internet. I'm directed to listen to songs. I do song critiques. I consistently websites with people. Can you listen to this? Can you see this? And I have spent an average of 4 nights a week, 5 hours a night for about 30 years in shows, writers' nights, open mics, listening to people, and working with people all over the world, literally. Either them coming to me or me doing other groups, Winnipeg, Toronto, been to most every state through NSAI and other organizations. And so there are things that I see over and over again. And then, of course, continually we've got parents, momagers and dadingers, and what about my kid? And then we got colleges and trade schools and all of those kind of things play into a lot of people trying to do things revolving around music. And it's a harder and harder world that we're in because so much of it is free, and it's very difficult to monetize it simply because there's so many people doing it. And we're in the second and sometimes third generation of people that have never paid for music and don't want to. We have venues that are experiencing all kinds of problems from people not listening to music, particularly original music, people not wanting to pay for music at all. And you've got, young high school and colleges and other people that have never really made money in music, so they do it for free. And so we have a lot of things that we have to keep in mind. Having said that, you can only be concerned with what you can do. So I'm trying to give you some examples of things that I've seen and heard, and try and keep you aware. And in everything, that's all I can do is provide some information. You can take a look at it and decide for yourself. If you feel you're on target, then keep going. Now, things that I do, like I said, this is going to be more of the networking side. The first two talked a little bit about creation of the song, presentation of the song. Now about networking. And networking is probably the most important thing that we can do. It's the element that is the hardest for a lot of people. Most songwriters and artists are by nature introverts. We write our little stuff, we have our little stories and emotions, and we have gone through a lot of things, so we wear our feelings on our sleeve. And a lot of times that manifests itself in music, which people will hear and kind of ignore because they've heard it a billion times before. Again, you've got to find out what is it different about you. What are you interested in, and what would make you interesting to other people? And so when we get to the networking thing, that's a difficult thing because people are, I've got to get out of my little shell. Oh God, what's going to happen to me? And it's a little weird. I constantly hear people, and I always use this qualifier, older writers, that'd be anybody over about 30 that are trying to keep their music going, but they're not really natural performers. Well, you generally have to link up with other performers. No matter what you do, you're going to have to network. You're going to have to meet some other people. Networking is just making friends. A lot of times those friends are just people just like you, get out there trying to be performers or meet performers. Or it could dovetail right on into the industry. In the industry, usually you're going to have to network. You're going to have to come the back doors. You're going to have to find channels to meet publishers and writers and hit writers, and that's what networking is. And networking also is with your fans. And I don't even like to call them fans as much anymore, because fan means fanatics. We'd like people fanatic about our music, but a lot of people are just friends, particularly when we have social media and we're just friends with everybody. Well, we're not always friends, but we're friends. So, we have to be concerned with these elements, and so that's what I'm trying to keep you abreast of here. And what is networking? It's making friends. How do you do that? Well, you got to get and keep attention, and that's the thing. We're in the cell phone world. Again, I'm coming to you from a cell phone, and people will generally have those in their face, and they're not paying attention to anybody. Live is one of your main primary things. And I'll tell you an interesting aspect. If you look at the majority of the people who are really doing this well, you'll see they have something very special for their fans or friends, and that presents them well. This last year on the Super Bowl, the entertainment, halftime entertainment, Justin Timberlake. What did he do? Well, he had the huge dance number and all that, but he goes into the audience and he takes a selfie with one little kid who's there taking it, and that goes viral, and millions of people say it. And that's part of him providing that one-on-one. Two of the best people, particularly in country music, Garth Brooks and Taylor Swift, those people just make you think they're talking to me. Well, that's all part of networking, and that is networking with your audience. But how do you do that when you're getting in? Well, the majority of, let's just take it from your home area. All right. How are you going to get out to meet people? Are they going to come over to your living room? They don't know. You're going to have to go out. There are writers' nights, open mics, talent nights, karaoke nights. There are a lot of different things that have where other like-minded individuals are. Go to coffee shops. Look at the little bulletin board. Look at a little on your home network and see if there's a neighborhood social networking site. Libraries, music stores are always good to find announcements on where to go congregate with other writers. And that's what you're trying to do. Get around other people who are just as nuts as you are. And so those are things that you can do. Now, when you come into Nashville, mostly that's writers' nights and open mics. What is an open mic? Open mic is when people show up, sign up. They have to get there early. And then that might be the whole show. Some places now have gotten so popular, the Bluebird, Douglas Corner, places like that, you have to call at a certain time. You have to get your name on a list. And then, again, you're going to be waiting in line. I say that literally and figuratively. Waiting in line is just kind of waiting for your time to go up. The Bluebird has a Monday night, open mic, and about 20 people will play, and there'll be about 100 people that want to play, and it's just, there's a lot of people doing that. And so finding different places that you can go is an important first step, and that would be, there's a place called Music Starts Here, which is on the web, and it's a website dedicated to all things Nashville, and with tips and videos and blogs. I have many things on there, but finding out where writers' nights are. Also, finding online, on websites, where do you guys go when you come into town? Or ask somebody like me, how many times do I have to say that? You have to, most everything set up in advance. Even the open mics, you kind of have to know about what they do. There are people like Debbie Champion at the Commodore, where you have to show up early on Sunday through Thursday and sign up and have to be there and listen to the show and see what else is going on. And then you play afterwards, and that's a lot of it. And then you'll find other open mics that are in that, and you kind of, one will lead to another, which leads to another. So educate yourself on where they are and what they are. A writer's night is more of an invited thing. Usually you have to do the open mics a few times to get to know people, and then you can get invited on the writer's nights. And they're all over town. Again, you got to do research on where you are, and then when you're trying to come into town, do a Barnett tour. But anyway, all of this is part of the networking thing. Now, people will say, classes. What about classes and seminars and workshops? Anything that can get you around other writers, anything that can get you with dialogue with other people is a good thing. You have to decide how much money you want to spend. If you're in a large thing, such as some of the song camps, NSAI, you're around a lot of people. That's good. And there's some negative aspects, and then you don't get as much personal attention. To me, everything is personal one-on-one. You've got to find, how can you get one-on-one with as many people as possible? My Marc-Alan Barnett Songwriter Tours are designed to work just with you and me. And I listen to songs and give performance tips and write songs and try to coach you through all the processes. But there are other things out there. There are week-long camps, weekend camps. We're about to get ready for Tin Pan South, which is NSAI's big Super Bowl week, where all the writers are playing and around the clubs in town. I have a show, and we have various people that are performing, some of the biggest and best and brightest that there are. And it's an event, and you should go to absorb it, to see how other people act. I'm going to wrap this up because I'm trying to break these down into 10-minute segments. And so we'll have a part 2 of networking in just a minute, and then I'm going to continue on with these. Remember, you don't choose music. Music chooses